Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. In this video, I am doing a kickoff to my Arrange a Wreath online class. This is my September class, and it includes 6 super awesome cards plus a box set of 4 more cards for a total of 10 cards. Now, this is kind of a sneak peek here of what the cards are. I don't share the cards anywhere except with the people that purchase the class. The class is free when you purchase my special bundle of products, which is $123, and I will show you what that includes in just a moment. If you want the class plus a pre-cut cardstock kit, it's $40. Class only is $25. Now, when you purchase my bundle, you get the class and the pre-cut cardstock kit, in addition to all the products that you will need to complete the projects that I have designed. So, these are some products that you will absolutely need to create the cards in the class. You will need, of course, the Arrange a Wreath bundle, which is the Arrange a Wreath stamp set and the Wreath Builder dies. Now, I have gone ahead and cut all the dies. If they have coordinating stamped images, I've done that to kind of give you a little cheat sheet here of everything that's included. There are 21 dies in this set, which is amazing. So, of course, you get the 2 wreaths. You get the love heart. You can also just use the love words separately. You get a double bow, you get the single bow, and then you can add this little piece behind. You can see I've done that in a different color to kind of make that pop, to make a double bow. We have this fun flower here that can be poinsettias or sunflowers. These 2 flowers here, and then 3 tiny flowers. There are stamped images for this flower and this leaf, the duo eggs, the duo hearts, the duo pears, this little flower center, this little sprig, another little flower center, a leaf, and the partridge or quail. I'm not sure what that is. So it's a big set full of a lot of great things, and I show you a lot of great cards in this class. Now, your bundle also includes, you get that, plus you get the package of In Good Taste Designer Series paper, and this is a double package. So this has 2 sheets of every one of these patterns. So there's 12 double-sided patterns, and you get 2 of each. So you get 24 sheets in this package, which is amazing. It's a giant pack. It's great. You will also receive the braided red linen trim and the Bumblebee gingham ribbon and the wonderful gems. Now you can see this is all the wonderful gems I have left after creating the class and doing some other things. I have some more on order, but I don't have them yet. So you get red gems, and then these little gems are kind of clear with gold glitter inside of them. They are really, really cool. So those are the products that you get if you purchase my special bundle for $123, and then I gift you with the online class and a pre-cut cardstock kit. Now, here's a teaser. This is a card that I made in a recent Facebook Live that I do every Thursday night at 7 p.m. You can check that out. I have a link in the description of this video. And this is a card that I made last week on that. So I used the stamped wreath, 2 colored wreaths, and then some little gold pieces there with some designer series paper. Super simple card. This is not a card in the class. This is just something else you could make. The card that I'm going to make for you today is kind of a fun fold card, and it is called a horizontal center step card. Okay, and so we've got a bunch of pieces here. So we are, of course, using the designer series paper. This is one of the patterns in the In Good Taste designer series paper. The back side of this is some tile work here. Patterns in this paper are really cool. And then I have some pieces of cardstock here. We're going to do some die cutting, and we're going to do some cutting and scoring on our main piece here. So let me get my Stampin' Trimmer. All right, here's my Stampin' Trimmer, and I have got an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of early espresso cardstock. I've got the short end at the top of my trimmer, and I'm going to line that up at the 1-inch mark. Okay, so for this particular part, we're going to use the cutting blade. And if you have the Stampin' Trimmer, you know that there are markings on the flapper arm here. Now, I have taken a piece of very vanilla cardstock, a small skinny strip, and I have used glue dots to attach that strip underneath, so I can see this ruler a lot easier. So if you're a little bit hard of seeing, which I am, that might be a helpful tip for you. So anyway, we've got this lined up at the 1-inch mark on this side. Here's the track. It's on that side. Okay, so I guess if it's over here, it's at 4.5. And we are going to start this cutting at 1 inch. So I'm going to place the blade at 1 inch, okay, and then I'm going to cut down to 5 1/4, which is right here. So I'm going to cut down, and what I like to do is kind of lift up just slightly, find that 5 1/4 inch mark, press the blade back into the paper, and then finish the cut that way. That way I don't go too far on either side of my cut. All right, so now we're going to slide this out and over to the 1-inch mark on this side of the track. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line this blade up at 1 inch. Okay, we're going to close it. We're going to start dragging it down. I'm going to gently pick it up just a bit. Find that 5 1/4 inch mark. Press it again, and then finish my cut that way. That way I'm sure that I don't go past this much here that I want. So now we're going to turn this so that the long edge is at the top, and we're going to do some scoring. So we're going to start at 1 inch here. I'm going to get my cutting blade out of the way, and I'm going to bring in my scoring blade. And so I'm going to get my scoring blade, I'm lining it up where the cut line is, and I'm just pulling it down. Okay, I'm going to gently slide it up. I'm not scoring now, I'm just sliding the blade at 1 inch, and now I'm pressing and pushing it up. So I'm only scoring from the cut line to the outer edge of the piece of cardstock. So I'm going to slide this over to 2 inches. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring my blade here, which is of course the 1 inch mark. I'm going to press it down and push it up. And now I'm not scoring, I'm just dragging. I'm going to drag it down here. And we're going to find that score line, press and pull. Okay, press and pull. Then we're going to slide this over to 4 1/4. And this time we're only scoring in the center between the cut lines. So I'm going to start it, my blade, there's a little notch here. I'm starting my blade at the cut line, and I'm pushing up, and now I'm not pushing. I'm going to come to that line and come down. That way, again, I am not going to be going past the line here with my score line, okay? And then our final score line is going to be at 5 1/4, and we are back to the 1 inch mark again and pushing up. Okay, so from now I'm just dragging it, coming down to this cut line, whoops, and I'm pulling it down again. Press and pull. So this is what I have. I have 2 cut lines here at the 1 inch, from 1 inch to 5 1/4, and then I have score lines from the cut line out, here, here, and here, and then I have one in the middle here. Okay. So now we're going to fold this. So I'm going to push these 2 to the back. These 2 are coming forward. This is folding and that is folding. And it kind of just wants to do it on its own for you once you start the process. So then I'm going to kind of pull these pieces together so that they are lining up at the bottom here. You'll grab a bone folder, and I'm going to burnish that. Burnish this one, this one, this one. I'm going to open this up just a little bit, and I'm going to burnish these also. Okay, so basically there it is. Our card is basically done. This is what you need it to look like. Okay, pretty cool. So now we just need to decorate it. So I've got some cardstock and some designer series paper here. So this designer series paper piece measures 3 by 3 1/4. And then this layer measures 3 1/8 by 3 3/8, and they're going to go right here. I then have 2 strips of the same pattern that are 3/4 by 3. And then these are 7/8 by 3. And then this one is 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then this is 7/8, I believe. Yep, 7/8 by 5 3/8. So we're going to go ahead and start gluing all these together. And I'm going to use some seal adhesive here. So we will start, whoops, I've got some gems there. So I'm going to add some seal to the ends of these pieces of designer series paper, and then I'm going to layer them onto my Bumblebee. And there will just be a slight amount of the Bumblebee cardstock showing behind that. Okay, and then I've got this piece, and we'll get this piece. There we go. And we're going to layer these onto the little strips of Bumblebee. And that is a little tiny bit long, so we're just going to trim that excess off. It's always better to have something too long than too short. I'll just trim that off. And we will trim that off also. All right, now we've got to layer these 2 pieces together. so simple to make these cards. It's just cutting and layering, which is very, very simple. Okay, now we need to add these pieces to our card. I'm going to go ahead and add the adhesive to all of them. Oh. Okay. So we're going to add this to our top layer here that's sticking out. Okay. These are going to go right here. So it might be easier if you do lay it flat. There we go. And get those into those spaces. Okay, and then this one's going to go on the bottom here. There we go. So we've got all of our layering pieces on. All right, next I'm going to take these pieces of cardstock over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And these two pieces both measure 3/4 square. So I've got the leafy wreath on the Pear Pizzazz and what I call the fern leaf on the Early Espresso. And then I have the large flower, the 2 mediums, and the 3 small flowers on the Bumblebee. So I'm going to take those all to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got my 2 wreaths. I actually needed 2 of the larger flowers. I think I said I needed 1. I actually need 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these 2 together. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of liquid glue, and I'm going to kind of offset these a little bit so it's a little fuller flower that way. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in a silicone craft sheet, and this is a sponge. Stampin' Up! Sells our Stampin' Sponges in packs of 3, and I just cut them into sixths, so in half, and then into thirds. So I end up with a chunk like this, and I just keep it on a binder clip here. And so I'm going to take some liquid glue, and I'm just going to squirt it right up here in the corner of my silicone craft sheet. And then I am going to get glue on the backs of these wreaths. This is a really easy way to do this. So I'm just going to hold the wreath like this, tap this into the glue, and I'm just going to tap it onto the wreath. Now I'm holding this in place because if I start moving this wreath around, then it's possible that it's going to get stuck in the glue that is underneath while I'm doing this process. So I'm going to be very careful. And I find it works better if the glue is liquidy. So if your sponge starts to stick, tap it into the glue one more time and get that excess, get some extra glue on there. All right, so we're just going to add these to this area here, and you can see how perfectly this fits in here. It fits in here so nicely. And then of course this one will go right on top. So we've got kind of a dual wreath going on in there, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then we have our flower here. I'm going to go ahead and pop that up with a Stampin' Dimensional. We're going to add that to the wreath about right there. And then I have these smaller leaves, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of tuck these in. Behind that one. So we're just kind of making a little bit of a floral arrangement down here in the corner. All right, we're just going to tuck this one under here like that. And then I've got a couple of these little ones. We're just going to kind of tuck one of those in there. And then I think we will tuck both of these other small ones in here somewhere. Okay, and the last one, actually maybe this last one we will leave and put, get off my finger. We'll put this on the silicone mat. Maybe we'll put it down here when we get our sentiment on there. I need a little scrap of Early Espresso, and then I have my Early Espresso ink pad here. Then I have this tiny little flower middle from the stamp set, so we're just going to stamp that right onto our Early Espresso. I'm going to go crop that. There is a coordinating die for this little guy, and I'm going to go grab it. All right, so here that is. And I'm going to use a glue dot to adhere that to our flower. So I'm kind of trying to turn these flowers into somewhat of a sunflower-y type of flower there. Okay, so we've got that. Next I've got some gilded gems that I wanted to add to the centers of some of these flowers. So I thought we would add a large one here. And I've got another package. These are just some little extra ones that I had laying around. So I'm just going to use, well, at least most of these. There we go. We've got a small one here. Gonna add that. And then I've got another package here, a new package. And we will get a couple more small ones. Or at least one for now, for that flower. And then I'm gonna stamp my sentiment. So I'm gonna open this back up. I'm gonna go grab my sentiment. I'm going to use the one that says give thanks, but I don't want it to say give thanks. I just want it to say thanks. So I'm going to tear off a piece of Scotch tape and I'm going to mask the word give. So I need another tiny skinny piece here. Okay, so now I have the word thanks showing. I do with my ink pad. Here we go. So I'm going to ink up the word thanks. And then the most important part of this whole thing is to take the tape off. Okay. And then we are going to stamp thanks down here. Try to get it straight. There we go. I think that looks good. And I'm going to throw this tape in the trash. And then I thought we could add our fun little flower, our extra flower, maybe right here. Nope, I'm not liking that at all. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to leave it as it is. I think it looks fine. But I did want to maybe add a bow. So I did tie myself a tiny little bow out of that gingham ribbon. I just want to tighten that up now so that the knot is nice and tight. Pull it just a tiny bit. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the tails off. There we go. And I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to put this. If I wanted to tuck it underneath my flower here. I think I actually might do that. So I'm just going to grab some glue dots, press that into the glue dot, and then I'm just going to kind of lift up this little flower here, and I'm going to tuck that right underneath. Okay. And there it is. Isn't that adorable? And it will just stand up on a desk or a table, so the recipient will get this and absolutely love it. So there we have it. So give the video a thumbs up if you'd enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel right down here and be sure to click that notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when I upload new videos. Here we are again. I love this card so much and I love the extra bling on there. I'm digging this. So if you want to purchase my online class, again, remember, if you purchase the entire bundle, it's $123. You get all the supplies I talked about in the beginning of the video, plus you get the pre-cut cardstock kit to make all 10 cards plus the box in the mail, and then I will email you the online class, which includes instructions for every card plus video tutorials. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and have a wonderful day.